There is a power working within you, a force unseen but ever present, shaping the very fabric of your reality. You may look around and see obstacles, struggle and pain, but what if I told you that right now, in this very moment, your story is being rewritten? The hand of God moves beyond human understanding, beyond time, beyond limitation. What you call delay, He calls preparation. What you see as failure, He sees as a necessary chapter in a grander design. You are not forgotten, nor are you forsaken. Though your mind may race with questions, though your heart may be heavy with burdens, rest now. Release the need to understand how or when. Your only task is to trust, to believe, to know with absolute certainty that God is at work in your life. The world may say that change is difficult, that transformation takes effort, but divine power does not operate through struggle. It works through surrender. You do not need to push or force, only to align. Your reality is a reflection of your belief. If you hold on to the story of struggle, you will continue to see it unfold. But the moment you release it, the moment you declare that God is rewriting your destiny, everything begins to shift. Circumstances rearrange, doors open where there were none, and people appear in your life as if drawn by an invisible force. That is the work of God, silent yet unstoppable, unseen yet undeniable. You are not a victim of fate. You are a vessel through which divine power flows. The old story no longer serves you. It is done. The past is not your prison unless you keep carrying it forward. Let it go now. Breathe, rest, and watch as the impossible bends in your favor. Your only responsibility is to hold the vision of a life redeemed, restored, and overflowing with blessings. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to fight against. Stand still and know that God is working. The pieces of your life are falling into place with precision beyond your comprehension. You do not need to chase, to beg, or to plead. You are already chosen. You are already written into the story of victory. It is already done. Rest now and watch how God moves in your life. God moves in ways beyond human comprehension, beyond the logic of the mind, beyond the limits of what your eyes can see. You may believe your story is set, that your circumstances define you. But in the realm of the divine, nothing is fixed. The moment you let go of resistance, the moment you surrender the struggle and trust, the unseen hand of God begins to weave something new. You are not abandoned, nor are you forgotten. You are not the forlorn abuse. You are being shaped, refined, and prepared for something greater than you have imagined. Right now, you may feel surrounded by challenges, but those challenges are not permanent. They are stepping stones. What seems like a dead end is merely a transition into a greater unfolding. The problem is not the situation itself, but the perception of it. You have been conditioned to believe in limitations, to accept lack, to expect struggle. But those are not divine truths. They are illusions created by the world. In the mind of God, your story has already been written in victory. The struggle is only there to awaken you, to teach you to turn inward, to trust in the unseen power that governs all things. Rest now, cease the endless striving, the anxious wondering, the need to control every detail. The moment you step back, God steps in. The moment you release fear, divine favor rushes in to fill the space. You are not waiting on God. God is waiting on you to align with the truth that everything is already working for your good. The delays, the disappointments, the closed door, they were never punishments. They were divine redirections, gentle whispers from the universe guiding you towards something better. What you once called rejection was actually protection. What you thought was loss was preparation for increase. The mind cannot grasp the magnitude of God's work because it is conditioned by time, by logic, by past experiences. But God does not operate within those limits. The path may look unclear to you, but to the divine, every detail has already been arranged. Every connection, every opportunity, every breakthrough is already in motion. You do not need to figure out how, you only need to believe. When you believe without resistance, When you trust without questioning, the unseen becomes seen. That which was delayed suddenly appears. That which seemed impossible suddenly materializes. Your faith is the bridge between where you are and where you desire to be. Faith is not hoping, it is knowing. It is standing firm in the unseen, fully convinced that what you seek is already yours. This is not wishful thinking, nor is it blind optimism. It is spiritual law. It is the way the universe was designed to function. What you hold in consciousness must reflect in your world. What you dwell upon with certainty must be drawn into form. Do not allow circumstances to dictate your belief. Do not allow the external world to shake your inner knowing. God is not limited by appearances, and neither are you. The situation you are in now is nothing compared to the power working behind the scenes. Everything you have prayed for, every desire placed in your heart, is already being fulfilled in ways you cannot yet see. The movement of God is often subtle at first, almost imperceptible, like a seed germinating beneath the soil. But in the divine order, nothing is wasted, nothing is stagnant. There is constant movement, constant unfolding. And when the time is right, the results will burst forth into reality in ways that will leave you in awe. Release the timeline. Let go of the need to know when, how, or through whom your blessing will arrive. These are not your concerns. Your only task is to hold the vision, to align your mind with what is already true in the divine realm. See yourself as already blessed. Walk as if the doors are already open. Speak as though your testimony is already written. The moment you assume this posture, reality bends to accommodate it. God is working in your life right now. Even in moments of silence, even when it seems like nothing is changing, there is movement. The foundation is being laid. The pieces are being positioned. You do not need to strive to force to make things happen. Your role is to trust, to align, to expect. The mind wants proof before belief. But the spirit knows that belief is the proof. When you believe, you open the floodgates for divine favor. When you rest in the certainty of God's promises, everything shifts in your favor. You are not bound by what has been. The past has no power unless you give it permission to shape your present. Release the old story. Release the weight of past failures, past disappointments, past wounds. They do not belong in your future. They were part of the journey, but not part of the destination. Every setback was a setup. Every hardship was a lesson. But now it is time to step into the new, to embrace the reality that God has already made a way where there seemed to be none. Your life is not unfolding by accident. Every detail, every event, every person who enters and exits your life is part of a grand design. Nothing is happening to you. It is happening for you. Even in your waiting season, there is purpose. Even in moments of uncertainty, there is divine order. Trust that God is working even when you do not see it, even when you do not understand it. The most powerful transformations happen in the unseen. Seeds grow in darkness before they break through the soil. Miracles manifest in silence before they are announced to the world. There is nothing missing in your life. Everything you need is already within you, waiting for recognition. The shift does not happen outside of you. It happens within. When you recognize yourself as already chosen, already blessed, already in possession of what you seek, the world must conform to that truth. This is the divine law. It does not fail. It does not falter. It is as sure as the rising sun, as certain as the beating of your heart. You were not created to struggle, to beg, to chase after what is already yours. You were created to embody, to receive, to walk in the fullness of divine provision. There is no lack in God, no shortage in the realm of the unseen. The only thing that can block the flow of abundance is doubt, fear, and attachment to the old. But the moment you let go, the moment you decide to rest in trust, the floodgates open. Your story is being rewritten in this very moment. What was meant to harm you is turning for your good. What seemed like a delay is setting you up for acceleration. What felt like a loss is making room for overflow. Do not fear, do not worry, do not try to force what is already yours. Just rest, just trust, just allow the divine to work as it always does, effortlessly, perfectly, and in ways beyond what you could ever imagine. Rest in the knowledge that the forces of the divine are already aligning every detail of your life. There is nothing out of order, nothing missing, nothing lost. Even when your eyes see difficulty, even when your heart feels weary, the truth remains unchanged. God is working, and His work is perfect. Every perceived delay is a moment of preparation. Every closed door is leading you to the right one. You are not wandering without direction, nor are you forgotten in the process. You are being positioned for something greater than your mind can yet comprehend. It is easy to believe when the evidence is before you, when the blessings are visible, when the answers come swiftly, but faith does not require sight. Faith is knowing before the manifestation, believing without needing proof, trusting when nothing seems to be happening. It is in these moments of stillness that God is working the most. The foundation is being set beneath the surface, and when the time is right, what has been prepared in the unseen will become undeniable in the seen. You do not need to strive to force or to control the process. The greatest breakthroughs come not through struggle, but through surrender. The moment you release the weight of worry, the burden of doubt, the chains of fear, you create space for miracles. The divine does not work through tension, it flows through peace. When you rest in trust, you align yourself with the limitless abundance that was always meant for you. The mind seeks solutions, timelines, explanations. It asks when, how, through whom. But the divine operates beyond such limitations. The moment you let go of the need to figure it out, you step into the flow of divine ease. Everything begins to unfold in perfect harmony. Not by your effort, but by the unseen hand guiding all things. There is no need to chase what is already destined for you. There is no need to force open doors that are being prepared to swing wide on their own. Your only role is to remain steadfast in your knowing, unwavering in your trust, unshaken by temporary circumstances. Everything you desire already exists in the realm of the unseen. The love, the opportunities, the breakthroughs. The healing is not being created. It is being revealed. It is not being withheld. It is waiting for you to align with it. The moment you declare that, it is already done. The moment you stand in the certainty that God has already made the way, the physical world must conform. This is the nature of divine law. It is not wishful thinking. It is spiritual truth. The world may tell you to work harder, to struggle more, to do more, but the divine whispers something different. It says rest. It says trust. It says let go. The greatest miracles happen in stillness. The greatest transformations occur when you allow rather than resist. Every desire placed in your heart was placed there for a reason. Every vision you carry is a glimpse of what is already yours. Your job is not to question, not to fear, not to shrink back in doubt, but to rise in faith, to walk as if it is already done, to speak as though it has already come to pass. When you embody the energy of already having, the world responds accordingly. The unseen begins to move. The path begins to clear. The answers begin to appear. This is not coincidence. This is divine alignment. Everything you need is already being arranged. The right people, the right opportunities, the right circumstances are all coming together in perfect timing. There is no need to rush. There is no need to fear. The divine never moves too soon, nor does it move too late. It moves precisely perfectly and always in your favor. The struggles of the past do not define the future. What has been does not dictate what will be. The moment you shift your focus from what was to what is possible, you unlock a new reality. The past has served its purpose. It has prepared you, strengthened you, shaped you. But it is not your identity. You are not bound to old patterns, old failures, old disappointments. You are being made new in this very moment. Every old chain is breaking. Every past limitation is dissolving. You are stepping into a new version of yourself, one that no longer clings to fear, but stands firm in faith. Every challenge you have faced was not to break you, but to build you. Every difficulty was not to defeat you, but to elevate you. You have been refined through the process, and now you are ready to receive the blessings that have always been meant for you. No effort has been wasted. No tear has gone unnoticed. Everything has been accounted for, and everything is turning in your favor. What was once a test will soon be your testimony. What once felt like struggle will soon be a story of victory. There is nothing too great for God. No situation is beyond His power. No obstacle is beyond His ability to remove. What seems impossible in human eyes is effortless in divine hands. The very thing that has seemed out of reach is already being placed in your path. The very answer you have been seeking is already on its way. There is no need to fight for what has already been written as yours. Simply align. Simply believe. Simply stand in the unwavering knowing that it is already done. You have spent enough time doubting. You have spent enough time questioning. Now is the time to step fully into faith. Now is the time to embrace the truth that God is working. That your story is shifting, that what you seek is seeking you. There is no separation between you and the life you desire. The only separation exists in belief. The moment you decide that it is already yours, the world must rearrange to reflect that truth. The moment you accept that divine favor is already upon you, the blessings must manifest in form. Just now, release the need to know every step. Release the need to see immediate proof. The proof is in the unseen, and soon it will be undeniable in the seen. The work has already been completed in the spiritual realm. The manifestation is simply a matter of alignment. Walk as though you have already received. Speak as though the prayer has already been answered. Move through life as though every door is already open. This is the posture of faith. This is the energy that accelerates miracles. God is not distant. He is not waiting for you to earn His favor, for you have already been chosen. You have already been marked for blessings beyond measure. The divine does not withhold. It only awaits your recognition. The moment you recognize yourself as already worthy, already abundantly victorious, the world must comply. Nothing outside of you has power over your destiny. No circumstance, no past mistake, no external condition can alter what God has ordained. You are already positioned for greatness. You are already walking in divine favor. Allow the old to fall away. Allow the new to emerge. Let go of fear, of hesitation, of the need for control. Surrender fully to the knowing that your story is being rewritten. The chapter of struggle is closing. The chapter of abundance is beginning. There is nothing more for you to do, nothing more for you to force. Just rest. Just trust. Just allow. God is working in your life, and what is coming will exceed every expectation, every prayer, and every dream you have ever carried. This is already done. Every moment you rest in faith, you allow the divine to unfold miracles in ways beyond your understanding. There is no force greater than trust, no energy more powerful than unwavering belief. The mind may try to reason, to calculate, to analyze, but the ways of God are not bound by logic. They operate in the unseen, moving pieces into place in perfect harmony. What seems delayed is already in motion. What feels distant is already reaching. For you, your only task is to remain still in your knowing, for everything is happening exactly as it should. You have already been set apart for something greater than your current reality. The struggles you have faced were never meant to define you, but to prepare you. The pain you have endured was never meant to break you, but to refine you. Every challenge was a necessary piece of the story, leading you to this moment, this realization, this truth. You were never abandoned. You were never forsaken. The hand of God has been upon you all along, guiding, shaping, trying. Even in the darkest nights, the divine light never left you. Even in the moments of deep uncertainty, heaven was orchestrating your breakthrough. What appears as silence is not absence. What seems like stillness is not inactivity. The unseen is more real than what the eyes can perceive. Every prayer has been heard. Every tear has been collected. Every longing of your heart has been acknowledged. And now the shift is taking place. Not because you fought for it. Not because you forced it, but because you finally surrendered. The moment you release control is the moment divine power takes over. The moment you step out of the way is the moment the path clears. You do not need to push against the current. You need only to flow with the tide of destiny. There is no mistake in your journey. No experience has been wasted. Every detour, every delay, every disappointment was divinely permitted to bring you to something higher, something greater, something you could not have imagined for yourself. What you thought was rejection was redirection. What you saw as failure was preparation. You have not lost anything that was truly meant for you. What is yours cannot be taken, cannot be destroyed, cannot be blocked. It is sealed by divine decree, and no earthly force can undo what has already been set in motion. The doors that once seemed shut will open effortlessly. The opportunities that once felt out of reach will present themselves without struggle. The love, the abundance, the peace that once felt unattainable will flood into your life with ease. Not because you begged, not because you chased, but because you believed. The power of faith is the key that unlocks every divine blessing. The moment you trust in the unseen, you align with a force that is beyond human limitation,